Well, something will have to give when two undefeated teams come head-to-head for the right to lift the 2024 ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Now, India will face off with South Africa in a clash of two sides undefeated thus far in the tournament. India seeks to reclaim the trophy they last won in the inaugural 2007 edition, while South Africa are in the final for the first time. India were also touted as the favourites at the start of the tournament and have lived up to the favourites tag. Now, to speak to us more on India's World Cup campaign is a cricket journalist, Charlie Gulshan, who joins us via Zoom this morning to sort of help us understand how India got to the final. Charlie, good morning and thank you so much for your time on Newzroom Afrika. Talk to us about how the mood is like in India ahead of this final.
That's amazing. Good morning, everyone. And of course, the mood is absolutely wow because this is the second, I would say the third ICC final in last 1 year, WTC, and then the Cricket World Cup final in Ahmedabad last year, and now the third final. So the mood is, good. But yeah, we are a bit of confused and somehow a bit of, worried because the way we lost the finals 2 times last year. So yeah, the mood is slightly better now. But yeah, it's T20 format, so yeah, a bit of nervous.
Yeah, T20 format, a bit of nerves on your side. But you talk about that final last year, the ODI final in Ahmedabad. India losing that final against Australia in front of 100,000 fans who watched that final. I wonder, though, the fact that India have made it to yet another final, Charlie, what does it talk about regarding their consistency and the pressure that comes with having to be at the top of their game? Talk to us about the consistency of India making it to finals of World Cup competitions.
Yeah, I think that India have done really good because the way they started the campaign. The most important part is the campaign, because when the team announced, they have picked right players, and the right players like they have Kohli batter. So on the other hand, they have a prominent middle order. They've picked 4 spinners, and out of 2 spinners are a batting all-rounder. So somehow there's a combination that is really amazing. And they will keep in mind that now because they have games in West Indies where pitch is slightly slow. Keep it Guyana, Barbados, St. Vincent, everywhere. You see some bit of spin. So that's why they have quality spinners like Akshar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja, Kuldeep Yadav. In the backup, they have the spinner like Yuzvendra Chahal. So they have the combination. In pace attack, they have Arshdeep Singh and Jasprit Bumrah. And in the backup, they have Mohammad Sharaf. So the combination was really good. And the way consistency, I think this is the way India performed in the group stage. Look back to all other competitions since 2011, 2015. They have won everything in the group stage. Hardly they lose the game in the knockout round. So yeah, a bit of nervousness, I would say. Somehow the pressure of 1.4 billion people, the trophy pressure, that's why they don't perform in the semi-final or final. If I talk about the final in Ahmedabad last year, obviously the issue was pitch. The pitch was a bit slow. Australia chased down the target because they got some help from the pitch, the dew factor as well. So yeah, in 2019 World Cup semi-final when New Zealand won against India, the pitch was good, but due to the rain, some overcast conditions, some left-arm ball and the pace, and India lost early wickets. So things went wrong. So that's why I think I feel that. But somehow, if I talk about the consistency, look at all games of Indian team. They have beaten the team comprehensively. They didn't, the India-Pakistan game was pretty tough, but see how they defended the total. Because if there was no Pakistan, any other team, Australia or any test playing nation, they would have chased down the target. It wasn't tough, but they actually snatched the, victory from the jaws of the defeat. So that's why the Indian team is pretty consistent, and they have certain areas. And how many times we have seen that Virat Kohli is not performing, and still India haven't lost a single game and they are into the finals. So this is big thing. That team is not reliable on certain 1 or 2 players.
Charlie, let's speak about Virat Kohli. Obviously, he's a talking point in this Indian team. He's been inconsistent in getting runs for his side in this competition. And he's a key player, right? Is that a concern that one of the key players in this team has been struggling to get runs?
Yeah, I think there are some reasons behind it because the first he's supposed to bat at number three, and number three is the prominent player because the kind of player he is, he's a kind of an anchor player. The player who constructs the innings and later he build the innings and later he accelerate. That's how he the master the chase in MCG against Pakistan in last event. So this is how Virat Kohli bats. There's a problem with the situation because the management decided to send Virat Kohli as an opener because they want something like that they have at least one or two all-rounders in the 6 or 7 number. That's why they tried Virat Kohli at number two. I mean, as an opener. So
Yeah.
that's why these things really hurt Virat Kohli. And during the IPL, because I was covering the IPL, I was in the stadium. Virat Kohli got 100 and still team RCB didn't win the game. So there is a pressure of the intent, the commentators and so many former cricketers and the social media talked about so much about
Yes.
the strike rate or something. His strike rate was around 150, more than 150 in IPL. So there was a pressure in the opening slot. And you know, if you see the semi-final game, he got a six, and then he decided to leave the crease and then smash the boundary. So that's why the pressure, somehow the intent issue. So let him play his natural game. If he play his natural game, he's a big game player. In the last
Right.
event, how he scored more than 700 runs, and he's three-time player of the tournament in ICC tournaments, two-time in World T20. In the last time, he scored 100 in semi-final and even 50 runs in the final, where it's a very good delivery. Unfortunately, against Pat Cummins, he got out. He would have scored 100 in the final as well. So he's a kind of a big player, and big player can perform in any day. That's why
Right.
Rohit Sharma said that now that his best inning is still left. Maybe it's in final. It can happen because the way we saw in 2011 World Cup, MS Dhoni was not in great touch for entire campaign, and in the final he scored 91, and India won the trophy.
Charlie, I appreciate your time this morning on the Weekend Report. Looking forward, of course, to that final between India as well as South Africa taking place later on this afternoon in Barbados. The final game, of course, of the T20 World Cup.